Good afternoon. Phil Lindeman with your news from Avalanche Physical Therapy on Krystal 93. The I-70 mountain corridor was back to bustling this weekend after 2 weeks of falling traffic. Nearly 135,000 vehicles passed through both sides of the Eisenhower Tunnel Friday through Sunday, up 17% over last weekend, still 13% behind the summer high. Daily traffic was averaging 44,972 vehicles. That's busier than daily average in July 2019 and just 4,000 vehicles shy of daily average in August 2019, the busiest month ever here on the corridor. In 48 hours this weekend, CDOT crews working Glenwood Canyon cleared more than 5,700 tons of rock and debris spread across nearly 2 miles of interstate. The work continues today on at least 1 more mile of road. Engineers are inspecting the interstate for damage they could not see until now. Still no estimate on when it will reopen. Meanwhile, Greyhound tells the Colorado Sun it is investigating how and why a bus driver ended up on a remote dirt road trying to get around the canyon. The bus stalled around 6 p.m. Friday, more than 22 miles up Coffee Pot Springs Road, with 21 people on board. All were safely evacuated 5 hours later. Thousands of local students are back in school next week, and just after 1 p.m. today, Summit School District unveiled COVID protocols. All students in all grades are back in class 5 days a week with no cohorts or hybrid learning and mandatory face masks for everyone, students and staff. Quarantines will be for unvaccinated people only, and social distancing is cut in half from 6 feet to 3 feet. County Commissioner Elizabeth Lawrence.
We know when kids are healthy and able to go to school, it helps our economy because then parents can be at work. And that's a big part of this and why we want to make sure we can keep kids in school.
And one last thing about face masks at school. They are not required outside for recess, outdoor sports, or PE class. Summit's rules are similar to districts on the Front Range, like Jefferson and Boulder, while out west, in the Vail area, Eagle County School District will not require face masks or social distancing for any grade. Eagle County's average caseload over the past 7 days is lower than Summit's, but Public Health Director Amy Wineland warns against comparing the counties.
It's really important that we're not necessarily comparing ourselves with these other counties and their COVID rates, because we have different, each county is so individual as to what variables are impacting.
For instance, Summit gets 3 times as many overnight visitors as Eagle County this summer, but our two counties do share one thing. People in their 20s and early teens are least likely to be vaccinated.
The occupation of where most of our cases are coming from. We have a lot of restaurants, unemployed. We have some people who have not been telling us where they work.
20-somethings also account for the majority of COVID cases in Summit. That data is not readily available for Eagle. A new version of the Breckenridge Amenity Club ordinance passed on first reading with no fanfare and no backlash from its most vocal opponent, Breck Grand Vacations. This law was tabled in April after Breck Grand CEO Mike Dudick accused council of sabotaging a development at the base of the gondola. The law prevents timeshares from selling more club memberships than they have available rooms. Town planner Chris Kulik.
This really restricts it quite a bit. It doesn't allow any additional parking beyond what's there and is tied to the vacancy.
Dudick was not present July 27th when council unanimously passed first reading of the ordinance. Council hears second reading tomorrow, Tuesday, and likely extends a moratorium on amenity club applications to close any gaps with this new law. In sports, a Florida Marlins player says a Rockies fan was chanting racial slurs at yesterday's game at Coors Field. The Rockies looked into it, and after interviewing people from the stadium, they determined the fan was chanting Dinger, aka the Rockies dinosaur mascot. And in local sports, brought to you by American Family Insurance, the Weiss Agency, the Summit Trail Running Series continues next Wednesday, August 18th, with short and long courses on the Flumes Trail north of Breck. Get signed up through BreckenridgeRecreation.com. Phil Lindeman with your news from Avalanche Physical Therapy on Krystal 93.